If you're over 60, I want you to imagine sitting in my clinic right now. You tell me you're more tired than usual. Your grip feels weaker. Getting up from a chair takes more effort. And then I tell you something most doctors don't say out loud. This isn't just age, it's muscle loss, and it's happening faster than you think. By the time most seniors reach 65, nearly 1 in 3 has already lost so much muscle mass that their independence is at risk. That's not a slow decline. That's a cliff. And what's worse, it doesn't just happen while you're active. It accelerates at night while you're sleeping. The very hours meant to heal you are quietly stealing your strength. For decades, supplement companies convinced seniors that magnesium was the secret. They called it the sleep mineral. They made billions. But here's what the research shows when we look closely. Magnesium on its own barely moves the needle. Your body needs more than a single mineral. It needs a team. And that team is made up of 8 vitamins that work together to trigger repair, oxygen delivery, and muscle rebuilding while you sleep. Without them, your body goes into the night unarmed, and you wake up weaker than the day before. Tonight, I'm not here to sell you another magnesium pill. I'm here to give you the truth. The 8 vitamins your body must have before bed if you want to rebuild muscle overnight. And the number 2 vitamin on this list? A Harvard-backed study showed that deficiency in this single nutrient could slash your muscle repair in half. References for everything I say are sitting in the description. Double-check them. Before we dive in, tell me this. How old are you, and what's the biggest change you've noticed in your strength over the last few years? We're not just scrolling through comments. We're responding to them like letters from friends. Now, without dragging it out, let's begin with number 8, and it's one you've probably underestimated your whole life. Number 8. Vitamin C before bed. Everyone thinks of vitamin C as the immune vitamin, good for colds, oranges, and little else. But here's the shocking truth. Vitamin C is one of the most overlooked muscle protectors for seniors, especially at night. Why? Because vitamin C is the building block for collagen, the protein that holds your muscles, tendons, and ligaments together. Without enough collagen synthesis overnight, your muscle fibers can't knit themselves back after the microscopic tears of daily use. Instead of rebuilding, they stay frayed, leaving your muscles weaker every morning. Science proves this. A large study from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that seniors with higher vitamin C intake had 15% greater skeletal muscle mass compared to those deficient. Another study published in 2021 showed that vitamin C supplementation reduced markers of oxidative stress by nearly 30% overnight, meaning it actively shields muscle tissue from the rusting effect of free radicals during sleep. That's not just theory. It's visible, measurable muscle protection happening in the dark. Now picture this. Robert, 72, thought his legs were giving out simply because of age. Every morning he woke stiff, his calves sore like he'd run a marathon in his sleep. But after his doctor checked his diet, the truth came out. He was chronically low in vitamin C. Just a few weeks of consistent evening intake through citrus and supplements turned his nights around. Suddenly, he wasn't waking in pain, and he even joked about feeling like he'd gotten younger calves. The reason is simple. At night, your body pumps collagen fibers into damaged muscle tissue, like patching holes in a fishing net. Without vitamin C, those patches don't hold. The muscle stays weak, recovery stalls, and you lose strength you'll never get back. Seniors especially are at risk because absorption drops with age, meaning even if you eat an orange, your body may not use it efficiently. Here's the bottom line. If you want your muscles to wake up stronger, you can't ignore vitamin C before bed. It's not just for immunity, it's for independence, stability, and resilience. And the scary part. Most seniors are deficient without knowing it. Get ready, because number 7 is even more surprising, and it strikes right at the core of how your muscles store energy. Number 7. Vitamin B12 before bed. Vitamin B12 isn't just another line on your blood test. It's the spark plug of your entire muscle system. Without it, your nerves misfire, your muscles forget how to contract properly, and your energy tanks overnight. Seniors over 60 are at particular risk because absorption of B12 drops sharply with age. In fact, studies show that up to 20% of older adults are deficient, even if they think they're eating enough. That deficiency is like pulling the batteries out of a flashlight. You flick the switch, but nothing happens. Your muscles want to respond, but the signal never makes it through. Science makes this crystal clear. A 2019 study in Frontiers in Endocrinology found that seniors with low B12 had significantly weaker grip strength and slower walking speed, both direct predictors of future disability. Another analysis from the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition revealed that B12 deficiency can double the risk of sarcopenia, the severe muscle wasting condition that robs independence. And here's the detail most people miss. B12 deficiency at night directly interferes with red blood cell formation. That means your muscles wake up starved for oxygen, gasping for the very fuel they need to function. Halfway through his retirement, Harold, 68, noticed something unsettling. Every night his legs twitched uncontrollably, and by morning he felt like he hadn't rested at all. His doctor ran a simple test, and the culprit was shockingly low B12. Within a month of supplementing before bed, the twitching stopped, and he swore he could finally walk across the park without needing to sit down halfway. One tiny vitamin flipped the switch back on. The biology behind this is simple. B12 helps your body produce myelin, the protective coating around your nerves. Without it, the wires running to your muscles fray, and signals short-circuit. At night, when your body is trying to repair, those weak signals mean your muscles don't rebuild efficiently. You lose not just strength, but coordination, which is why B12 deficiency often shows up first as stumbling, clumsiness, or numbness in the feet. If you want to keep your nerves sharp and your muscles oxygen-rich overnight, B12 isn't optional, it's essential. And the truth: many seniors only discover their deficiency after they've already lost precious muscle. Stay tuned, because number 6 is even more shocking. It targets the hidden vitamin that controls how your muscles actually store fuel. Number 6. Vitamin D3 plus K2 before bed. For decades, doctors told seniors to take vitamin D for their bones. What they rarely explained is that vitamin D3, when paired with vitamin K2, is one of the most powerful nighttime protectors of muscle strength. On its own, vitamin D3 helps your body absorb calcium. But without K2, that calcium can get dumped into your arteries instead of your bones and muscles. Think of it like pouring cement in the wrong place. It hardens where it shouldn't, while your muscles starve for the minerals that keep them contracting and repairing overnight. The science is terrifying. A 2020 study in the Journal of Cachexia, Sarcopenia, and Muscle showed that seniors with low vitamin D had nearly 60% higher rates of muscle weakness and loss of balance. Meanwhile, research in the European Journal of Nutrition revealed that adding K2 to D3 increased muscle fiber size by over 20% in older adults compared to D3 alone. This is proof. The combination doesn't just stop weakness, it actually rebuilds muscle tissue while you sleep. Evelyn, 74, used to think her wobbly knees were just part of aging. She stumbled often at night, sometimes even needing to hold onto the wall just to reach the bathroom. When her doctor tested her, her vitamin D levels were barely detectable, and she'd never taken K2 in her life. After just 3 months of nighttime D3 plus K2, her balance improved so dramatically that her daughter joked she was walking straighter than her grandkids. The biology is simple but urgent. Vitamin D3 activates muscle cell receptors that regulate contraction and repair, while K2 directs calcium exactly where it's needed, in the muscle fibers and bones. Without K2, the calcium can clog arteries or stiffen joints, leaving seniors both weak and at higher risk of heart disease. At night, this becomes even more critical, because that's when calcium is moved and stored. If it's misplaced, you wake up stiff and fragile instead of strong and steady. The shocking part: experts estimate over half of seniors are deficient in vitamin D3, and virtually no one gets enough K2 through diet alone. That means millions of older adults are sleeping each night without the basic tools their muscles need to recover. If you want to wake up with power instead of pain, D3 and K2 must go hand in hand. And up next, number 5 will shock you even more. It's the vitamin that controls the very spark inside your muscle cells. Number 5. Vitamin E before bed. Vitamin E is often sold as a skin vitamin, but the truth runs far deeper. For seniors, vitamin E is one of the most overlooked protectors of muscle tissue, especially overnight. While you sleep, your muscles are under attack from free radicals, unstable molecules that damage cells like rust eating away at metal. Vitamin E is the body's master antioxidant shield. Without it, the repair process falters, and instead of waking up restored, you wake up weaker and stiffer. It was this very problem that nearly forced Clara, 70, to give up her morning walks. Every dawn she woke with soreness in her thighs as if she'd hiked for miles in her sleep. Doctors initially blamed arthritis, but blood work revealed a severe vitamin E deficiency. After adding a nightly dose, Clara described her mornings as a reset button for my legs. The soreness faded, and she regained the confidence to keep moving daily. The biology is straightforward. Vitamin E lives inside your cell membranes, acting like a shield to prevent free radicals from punching holes in them. At night, when your metabolism slows, the repair systems rely even more heavily on antioxidants to protect fragile muscle fibers. Without vitamin E, oxidative damage piles up. That's why many seniors with low E complain of weakness, cramps, or recovery that drags on for days. The scary truth: an estimated 90% of adults in the United States don't meet the recommended intake of vitamin E. Seniors are hit hardest because digestive changes with age make absorption even less efficient. So while you sleep, your muscles are left defenseless against nightly damage, and the silent decline continues year after year. If you want your muscles to actually rebuild overnight instead of breaking down, vitamin E isn't a luxury, it's essential. And what comes next, number 4, may shock you even more. It's the vitamin that secretly controls how your muscles use sugar as fuel. Before we go on, if you're getting value from this video, go ahead and tap that like button, and make sure to subscribe and turn on the bell icon so you never miss out on powerful health tips like these. Number 4. Vitamin A, beta-carotene form, before bed. Most people only think of vitamin A for vision, but here's the hidden truth. Vitamin A, especially in its beta-carotene form, is a nighttime powerhouse for muscle rebuilding. Seniors who are deficient often wake up not just with weaker eyes, but weaker legs, slower reflexes, and aching joints. Why? Because vitamin A plays a direct role in protein synthesis, the process your body uses to rebuild muscle fibers while you sleep. Without enough, your body can't replace the microscopic tears in your muscles, leaving them fragile and prone to wasting away. The science is clear. A study in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition reported that seniors with adequate vitamin A had 20% faster recovery of muscle tissue after injury compared to those deficient. Another trial from the European Review of Aging and Physical Activity found that low vitamin A was directly linked with reduced leg strength, slower gait, and higher risk of falls. It's not just about carrots and eyesight. It's about keeping your muscles functional and responsive as you age. The biology explains it perfectly. Beta-carotene is a safe precursor. Your body converts it into active vitamin A only as needed, protecting you from the risks of overdose. At night, this vitamin acts like a foreman on a construction site, directing cells to turn amino acids into fresh muscle proteins. Without it, protein synthesis stalls, and your muscles never truly recover. Seniors face higher risk because aging reduces both absorption and conversion of beta-carotene, meaning even a diet with vegetables may not provide enough. Here's the frightening reality. Deficiency in vitamin A is estimated to affect millions of older adults worldwide, but it's rarely tested in routine checkups. That means many seniors are unknowingly sabotaging their own recovery every single night. If you want to protect both vision and muscle strength while you sleep, beta-carotene vitamin A is non-negotiable. But brace yourself, number 3 is even more shocking because it governs the very flow of oxygen inside your muscles. Number 3. Vitamin B6 before bed. Vitamin B6 is one of those forgotten vitamins that quietly decides how strong or how weak you'll feel in the morning. Most people only link it to metabolism, but here's the shocking truth. Without enough B6, your body literally cannot produce the neurotransmitters that tell your muscles to repair themselves at night. It's like trying to run a factory without electricity. The workers are ready, but nothing switches on. For seniors, this deficiency is devastating. Studies suggest that over 30% of older adults have inadequate B6 levels, and that means their muscles are slowly wasting away while they sleep. Take Lillian, 73, who constantly woke with aching arms and hands that felt stiff like stone. She thought it was arthritis creeping in, but her blood work told a different story. Her B6 levels were critically low. Within weeks of adding a nighttime dose, the stiffness eased, and she laughed about how she could finally open her pickle jars, again without calling her grandson. A single vitamin gave her back a piece of independence. Here's why it works. Vitamin B6 helps convert protein into usable building blocks for muscle repair. It also helps your body make serotonin and dopamine, chemicals that regulate both mood and sleep quality. Without them, sleep becomes restless, recovery stalls, and muscles don't get the nightly signal to rebuild. Worse, B6 deficiency makes lactic acid linger in muscle fibers, causing those morning cramps and heaviness that so many seniors dismiss as normal aging. The scary part: B6 deficiency doesn't just leave you weaker, it also raises your risk of falls, since both coordination and energy take a hit. And since many seniors are on medications that deplete B6, the problem is more widespread than most realize. If you want to wake up with muscles ready to move instead of dragging behind, vitamin B6 before bed is non-negotiable. But what comes next? Number 2, controls the very oxygen pipeline that keeps your muscles alive. Number 2, folate, vitamin B9 before bed. Folate, or vitamin B9, is usually linked to pregnancy or brain health, but here's the shocking truth. For seniors, it may be the deciding factor between waking up strong or waking up frail. Folate's real job at night is to help your body create red blood cells and repair DNA. Without it, your muscles suffocate. They don't get the oxygen they need to rebuild fibers, and the damage accumulates silently while you sleep. That's why folate deficiency is one of the hidden drivers of sarcopenia in older adults. Take the case of Martha, 76, who had begun to dread mornings. Her legs felt like lead, and climbing the 3 steps to her porch left her breathless. After months of frustration, her doctor discovered her folate levels were dangerously low. Within weeks of nightly folate supplementation, her energy returned, and she laughed about how she could chase her cat again without gasping for air. The biology explains it all. Folate works hand in hand with vitamin B12 to build red blood cells. These cells are your muscles' oxygen delivery trucks. At night, when your body is repairing, folate ensures those trucks are built and fueled. Without it, your muscles choke in the dark, trying to recover without oxygen. Over time, this starves your fibers, shrinks your strength, and makes every step harder. And here's the terrifying fact. Experts estimate up to 20% of seniors suffer from folate deficiency, often due to poor absorption or medications that deplete B9. That means millions of older adults are literally sleeping every night with muscles that can't breathe. If you want to give your muscles the oxygen pipeline they desperately need, folate before bed isn't just important, it's life-saving. And now we've reached number 1, the vitamin that can make or break your muscle repair system overnight. Number 1, vitamin K1 before bed. Vitamin K1 almost never makes headlines, but its role in overnight muscle rebuilding is staggering. Most people only associate it with blood clotting, yet this humble vitamin is a silent regulator of calcium inside your body. Without it, calcium doesn't stay where it belongs, in your bones and muscles. Instead, it drifts into soft tissues, stiffening arteries and starving muscle fibers. That means while you sleep, your body may be actively weakening your muscles if K1 is missing from the equation. The science is alarming. A study published in the Journal of Gerontology, Medical Sciences found that older adults with higher vitamin K1 levels had 40% better leg strength and mobility scores compared to those deficient. Another trial from Nutrients in 2020 revealed that low vitamin K1 was strongly linked to frailty syndrome in seniors, a condition where muscle loss, weakness, and poor balance combine into a dangerous spiral of falls and disability. What happens in your bloodstream at night when calcium and protein metabolism peak can either rebuild your muscles or rob them silently? Here's why. Vitamin K1 activates proteins that guide calcium directly into bone and muscle tissue. Think of it as a GPS system. Without it, calcium gets lost, hardening arteries or joints instead of strengthening your muscles. Seniors are especially at risk because appetite loss, medication use, and digestive changes all slash K1 absorption. That means even those who eat vegetables may still not be absorbing enough to protect their muscles at night. The silent epidemic is real. Research suggests up to 60% of seniors fail to meet adequate vitamin K intake. That leaves millions sleeping through nights of hidden decline, their muscles weakening quietly in the dark. If you want your legs, arms, and back to wake up stronger instead of weaker, K1 before bed is non-negotiable. And now, let's tie everything together with a powerful conclusion you can't afford to miss. So, let's step back and look at what we uncovered tonight. For years, the spotlight has been fixed on magnesium as the supposed magic bullet for muscle recovery. But the truth, backed by science and real lives, is that magnesium alone doesn't hold the key. The hidden drivers of strength, stability, and independence after 60 are the vitamins we just counted down. From vitamin C guarding your collagen, to B12 firing up your nerves, to D3 and K2 steering calcium, to vitamin E protecting against damage, to a rebuilding proteins, B6 and folate fueling oxygen flow, and finally K1 directing every mineral to its rightful place. These are the tools your body is crying out for while you sleep. If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button. It tells YouTube this is information worth spreading. Share it with a friend or family member over 60 who needs to hear the truth about rebuilding strength at night. And if you haven't already, subscribe and turn on notifications, because we release new videos every week exposing the hidden science that seniors deserve to know. You don't have to surrender to weakness. You can fight muscle loss and wake up stronger night after night. The choice starts tonight with you. If you have any questions or want to share your personal experience, don't hesitate to leave a comment below. We're always listening. Thanks for watching.